Have you ever wondered why some capable, emotionally intelligent women set a boundary and feel calm afterwards, while others explain themselves into complete exhaustion? Hi, I'm Kelly Kessler, and I work with women who are deeply caring, highly capable, and tired of abandoning themselves to keep the peace. Because for a long time, I thought the difference was confidence or communication skills or being better at boundaries. But it's not. It's actually something much quieter and much more internal. There was a time when every boundary I set came with a full explanation. If I needed space, I explained why. If I said no, I gave context. If someone looked confused or uncomfortable, I worked harder to help them understand me. I took responsibility for it. I felt like it was my job for them to understand. But on the inside, it was exhausting because what I was really doing wasn't communicating. I was negotiating my own self-respect. It's like trying to leave a room, but standing in the doorway, holding onto the handle, explaining why I had to go. I wasn't actually leaving, I was hovering. I was waiting for permission from someone else. And this usually doesn't show up in those dramatic moments. It shows up at work when you over-explain the no. It shows up in relationships when you justify your needs. It shows up with family when you soften your truth so no one feels uncomfortable. And each time, a little part of me was staying behind, waiting to be understood. One day I caught myself writing a message that was way too long. You know the kind. Multiple paragraphs, tone softened, every possible misunderstanding handled in advance. I overthought every step. And then I stopped because I realized something uncomfortable. I wasn't trying to be clear. I was trying to be understood so that I would feel safe in it. And that makes sense because for a long time, being understood felt like being safe. It's like giving someone directions. You can point them to the street and say, it's right here. Or you can walk them all the way there, narrate every step, check they're okay, and make sure they like the route. One is clarity, the other one is over-functioning. And I had the two confused. So instead of sending the long message, I sent one simple sentence. That doesn't work for me. No explanation, no softening, no managing how it landed. And immediately my body reacted. Tight chest, that familiar pull to fix it, add more, do differently. But I didn't. The other person didn't fully understand. And here's what surprised me. My body started to settle. Not because they agreed, not because they validated me, but because I didn't abandon myself in that moment. And that's when it landed for me. That I don't need to be understood to be self-respecting. Self-respect isn't something you earn through explanation. It's not something you negotiate into existence. Over-explaining is often a self-protection strategy, not a communication issue. Self-respect is an internal alignment. Understanding is just a bonus. But self-respect is the foundation. And you don't pour a foundation hoping everybody approves of the blueprint. You pour it because you need something solid to stand in. If you've ever been explaining yourself because you're trying to stay kind or connected or stay good, I want you to hear this. You can be clear without being convincing. You can be honest without being harsh. And you can respect yourself even when someone doesn't understand it. Self-respect does not require agreement. It requires you staying with yourself even when it's uncomfortable, and especially then. If this resonated, just sit with it. Notice where you've been explaining instead of standing. And if you want help seeing where this pattern shows up in your own life, I create a short, free self-abandonment audit. It will help you gently identify the moments you override yourself in the name of connection and why insight alone hasn't been enough to change it. You can download it in the link below. The awareness is where real change begins. So just by watching this, you are starting to create new patterns in your life where self-respect isn't optional, it's essential. Thank you so much for joining me today.